Hello, beautiful people. Let's train your ears with some real English. I am Jack.
And I'm Emma. So happy you are here with us today.
Emma, I have to confess something before we start, and I need you to not laugh.
I already want to laugh, but okay, go ahead.
So, last week I was home alone, and I decided to practice my speaking, and I spent about 40 minutes just talking to myself, out loud, in English, about nothing. About my day, about what I was going to eat for dinner, about a movie I watched.
40 minutes?
40 minutes of just talking to myself like a completely normal person. And my roommate came home early and heard me through the door.
Oh no. What did he think?
He thought I was on the phone, so he waited outside the door for 5 minutes so he would not interrupt my call. And then he came in and realized there was no phone. There was no call. There was just me talking to myself about pasta.
About pasta?
I was telling no one in particular about the best way to cook pasta, in English, very seriously.
And what did your roommate say?
He looked at me for a long moment, and then he said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yes, I'm practicing English." And he said, "Okay," and went to his room, and has not mentioned it since.
He is a very understanding roommate.
A very confused but understanding roommate, yes. Anyway, that is actually our topic today. How to practice speaking English alone at home. Because not everyone has a partner to practice with, and not everyone can afford a teacher every day.
And speaking is the skill that is hardest to practice alone. Reading you can do alone, listening you can do alone, writing you can do alone, but speaking feels like you need another person.
It feels that way, but you actually do not. And today we're going to talk about all the ways you can practice speaking when there's nobody around.
Some of which are a little strange, but they work.
Some of which are very strange, but they really work.
Okay, so talking to yourself, let's start there, because Jack just described it, and I want to say this is actually one of the most effective things you can do.
Really? Because it felt a little crazy when I was doing it.
It feels crazy, but think about what you're actually doing. You're forming sentences in real time, in English, out loud, without time to prepare, without writing it down first.
So it's the closest thing to a real conversation without the other person.
Exactly. And the more you do it, the faster your brain gets at finding words, at building sentences on the spot.
Because you're training the same muscle you use in real speaking.
The same muscle. And in our last episode, we talked about how music helps with the rhythm of English. Talking to yourself does something similar. It trains the flow, the speed, the connection between thinking and speaking.
So when you finally have a real conversation, your brain is already warmed up. It knows what to do.
It has done it hundreds of times already, alone, in your kitchen, about pasta.
In my kitchen about pasta, yes.
And that practice is not wasted. It all counts.
Okay, so talking to yourself, what else? And actually, recording yourself. Have you ever tried that?
Yes, and I hated it, but it was incredibly useful.
Tell me about it.
So I started recording myself speaking English maybe 2 years into learning. I would pick a topic, just a random topic, and talk about it for 2 or 3 minutes and then listen back.
And what was it like to listen back?
Terrible. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. The first time I listened to myself, I almost deleted the recording immediately.
Why?
Because I sounded nothing like I thought I sounded in my head. My accent was stronger than I expected. I paused in strange places. I repeated the word basically about 15 times in 3 minutes.
Basically.
Basically, everything was basically. And I could hear every mistake, every hesitation, every moment where I couldn't find the right word.
That sounds really uncomfortable.
It was very uncomfortable, but here's the thing. It was also incredibly useful because I could hear exactly what needed work, not what I thought needed work, what actually needed work.
So it was like looking in a mirror for your speaking.
Exactly like that, a very honest mirror. And once you hear something, you can't unhear it. So the next time I recorded, I was already more aware of those things, and slowly they started improving.
How long did it take before you could listen to your recordings without feeling terrible?
Honestly, about 3 weeks. The first few recordings I listened to once and then put away. But after a while, I started to hear improvement, and that made it easier to keep going.
And now?
Now I actually enjoy it sometimes because I can hear how far I've come. I still make mistakes, but different mistakes, better mistakes.
Better mistakes. I love that.
Progress is making better and better mistakes until one day the mistakes are so small you almost don't notice them.
Okay, recording yourself. What else can you do alone?
Shadowing. Do you know this method?
I've heard of it, but explain it for our listeners.
So, shadowing means you listen to a native speaker and you speak at exactly the same time as them. You copy their voice, their rhythm, their pronunciation, like a shadow following someone.
So you're not translating or thinking, you're just copying.
Just copying, as fast as you can, as closely as you can. And it's really hard at first,
Because you have to listen and speak at the same time.
which your brain is not used to doing. So the first few times you fall behind, you lose the thread, you end up just making sounds.
Just making sounds.
Just sounds. But with practice, your mouth starts to keep up and you start to sound more and more like the person you're copying.
And this is great for pronunciation and for rhythm, which we keep coming back to.
Because rhythm is so important, and shadowing is one of the best ways to train it. You feel the rhythm in your own mouth, in your own voice.
I tried shadowing once with a podcast, and I felt completely ridiculous.
Everyone feels ridiculous at first.
I was sitting at my desk, mumbling along to someone talking about technology, very fast, and I understood maybe 40% and repeated maybe 20%.
But that 20% was real practice. Your mouth was moving, your voice was working, your brain was trying.
And trying is how you get better.
Always, even bad shadowing is better than no shadowing.
Because at least you're engaged, and we talked in a previous episode about how engagement is everything when it comes to learning.
When you're engaged, your brain learns, even when it feels hard.
Okay, listeners, quick one. If you are finding this useful, please share it with someone who wants to improve their speaking but does not know where to start. And subscribe if you have not done that yet.
It really helps us. Okay, I want to talk about something that I think is underused, and it is so simple.
What is that?
Describing things out loud, everything around you.
What do you mean exactly?
So, you're sitting at home, and instead of just sitting, you start describing what you see, in English, out loud. The table is brown and wooden. There are 3 books on the shelf. The window is open, and I can hear birds outside.
Like a sports commentator, but for your room.
Exactly like that, a live commentary of your own life.
And this is actually a great way to build vocabulary because you suddenly realize, wait, I do not know the word for that thing. What is that thing on the wall called?
And then you look it up, and now you have a new word, in context, connected to a real object you see every day.
So the word sticks because it is connected to something real.
Not a word on a list, a word connected to your actual life, to something you look at every day.
And that is so much more powerful than a vocabulary list, which we talked about in a previous episode. Words stick when they are connected to real moments and real things.
Exactly. And describing your surroundings gives you hundreds of those moments every single day.
I'm going to try this. I'm going to narrate my morning tomorrow, like a documentary.
Jack wakes up. He looks at the clock. He does not want to get up, but he does.
In English, with a very serious voice.
A very serious voice for a very ordinary morning.
I'm actually excited about this.
It's genuinely fun, especially when something unexpected happens and you have to describe it fast.
I can imagine. Okay, what else? Is there anything beyond describing things?
Yes, and this one might be the most powerful of all, thinking in English.
Oh, this one is interesting.
So, most learners, when they think during the day, they think in their own language. And then, when they need to speak English, they translate. First, they think the idea, then they translate it into English. And that takes time.
And that translation step is what causes the pause, the hesitation, the moment where you can't find the words fast enough.
Exactly. But if you practice thinking in English during the day, even for short moments, you start to cut out that translation step.
So your thoughts come in English directly.
And then speaking is faster, more natural, because there's no translation happening. The English is already there.
How do you start doing this? Because it sounds hard.
Start really small, just one thought a day in English. When you wake up, think in English. I'm tired. I want coffee. It's cold today. Just that.
One thought. That's it.
And then 2 thoughts, and then 5. And slowly, your brain starts to use English as a thinking tool, not just a speaking tool.
And when you dream in English, which we talked about in a previous episode, that's a sign that English is becoming your thinking language too.
Yes, your brain is finally accepting it as something real, not foreign, just another way to think.
Which is a really beautiful thing when it happens.
It is, and it starts with one small thought in the morning.
I'm tired. I want coffee.
Perfect. You're already doing it.
Okay, so let's bring this together. What are all the ways you can practice speaking alone at home?
Talk to yourself out loud about anything, your day, your plans, what you see around you.
Record yourself and listen back, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable.
Shadow native speakers. Copy their voice, their rhythm, their speed.
Describe everything around you. Make your room a vocabulary lesson.
And think in English. Start small, one thought at a time.
And the key to all of these is making them a habit.
Wait, habit. That's our word today, right?
Yes. So habit, imagine you brush your teeth every morning. You don't decide to do it, you just do it, because you've done it so many times that it's automatic. That's a habit, something you do regularly without thinking about it.
And the goal with speaking practice is to make it a habit, something you do every day, automatically, without having to decide each time.
Because if you have to decide each time, some days you'll decide no, I'm too tired. I don't feel like it.
But if it's a habit, you just do it, like brushing your teeth.
And habits are built by doing something small every day at the same time in the same place.
So pick one thing from today's episode, just one, and do it every day for 2 weeks.
Talk to yourself while you make breakfast. Record yourself for 2 minutes before bed. Shadow one podcast episode every evening.
Just one thing, small, consistent, every day.
And after 2 weeks, it will start to feel normal, and after a month, it will feel like something you always did.
That's how habits form, and that's how speaking improves.
Slowly, but really.
Slowly and really. That's the only way it works.
Okay, bonus tip. Emma, go ahead.
Yes. So, listeners, here's the simplest thing you can start today. When you're alone at home, pick one activity you do every day. Making coffee, taking a shower, walking to the kitchen. And while you do that activity, describe it in English, out loud.
I'm making coffee. I put the water in first. Now I wait. The coffee smells good today.
Just like that. Simple sentences, real life, out loud.
And do it every day with that same activity until it becomes a habit.
Until you don't even think about it anymore. You just speak in English, naturally.
That's the goal. Natural, easy, automatic.
And it starts with 1 cup of coffee, described in English, alone in your kitchen.
Just like my pasta story.
Just like the pasta story. And look, you're already ahead of most people.
And listeners, don't forget our word from today.
Habit. Make speaking English a habit, not something you do when you feel ready, something you do every day, like brushing your teeth.
Build the habit, and the speaking will take care of itself.
One small thing every day. That's all it takes.
All right, one question before we go.
What is one method from today that you want to try? Talking to yourself? Recording yourself? Shadowing in English? Thinking in English?
Write it in the comments. Tell us your plan, and in a few weeks, come back and tell us how it went.
We really want to know, and if this episode was useful, please like it, share it, and subscribe. It means so much to us.
Take care, everybody. See you in the next episode.
Bye! Go talk to yourself in English right now.